If you plan to use your debit card to either get cash or use your debit card period, make sure
Good afternoon from
I got the hand.
Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We are going to dinner today. We're gonna go to a place that we always go to though, so we're gonna skip that part of it. We're going to Bar Light, but what we are going to show you today, we need cash. We don't have any, we have 20 pesos.
To our name. That's literally the only cash we have. And I think getting cash when you come to Puerto Vallarta is definitely a necessity, and after we've been to 2 or 3 different ATMs over the past few days, we thought it would be interesting to show you guys where those are at, what their current rates are like, what the fees are like, what the line is like, how much cash you can get. Yeah. All the details.
Wells Fargo like flagged our cards like the last day and a half or so, so they weren't working. We called them today. They should be working, so if they don't work, then we're not going to be able to eat. So hopefully that works, but either way, you're going to learn something along the way. Vámonos.
Let's go.
Do you suggest, do people have to get pesos here, or can you just use dollars?
You can just use dollars. However, the exchange rate varies depending on the restaurant or place you go. And I think typically restaurants tend to have a lower exchange rate than banks. So I would recommend paying in pesos.
You'll get your change back in pesos. So you kind of lose money if you do that. Yeah.
And I also think that you should definitely get pesos and not count on paying with a debit card because, well, our debit card sometimes doesn't work, and there may be fees associated with it. And a lot of places here, at least in like Old Town and South Zona Romantica, they don't take cards. So you're really limiting the places that you can visit if you only have a debit card. Here we are at Intercam. People are looking at us because we're making a video in front of the closed bank.
No, it's open.
Oh no, it's actually open. So here are the ATMs. I think there might just be one.
Yeah, I think there's one over here.
Yeah, there's just one ATM, but it's located like really close to Seasons TV under Rivera Rivera, I don't know.
Yeah. What's with this one?
This doesn't have the rate posted. Oh. Someone else's receipt. No. But we're gonna go in the bank and ask, and I think the ATM uses the same rate that the bank uses. My favorite thing about the ATMs is they're in these little bitty tiny rooms that are air conditioned.
Usually the banks have their rates posted outside. This
yeah, posted on a big sign. So we're gonna run to the bank and tell you what Intercam's current rate is.
What's the downside to this one?
Downside to the Intercam ATM is there's only one if there's a line, and also you can only get a maximum of 3,000 pesos, which is, I don't know, a little less than $200. Yeah. But that's the max. So if your debit card charges a transaction fee as well as the fee charged by this ATM, you can only get out 3,000 pesos at a time. The next ATM we're going to take you to, you can get out 7,000. So
it's either 6 or 7.
Maybe 6,000 or 7,000. But the next ATM we take you to, you can get out at least double the 3,000 from here.
Alright, here's our rates. They buy at $16.71 and they sell at $18.47 for the US dollars. So I may have interpreted that wrong. The $16.71 is the rate. If we want to get pesos, that's the rate to the dollar. So when we take out $100, it'll be
16.7.
It'll be $100 times 16.71 will be the amount of pesos we get.
Yes. We're at the second ATM at Puerto Vallarta, right on Los Altos, just right close to Big Kahuna, and a little ways down from Playa Los Arcos Hotel. And let me check the rate here. The rate here to buy pesos is 16.65. It's a little bit less desirable rate than Intercam. A couple downsides to this ATM is because it's located in such a popular spot. There's always a line.
Especially on like the end of the month.
And 2 of the 3 ATMs are down or out of cash right now, and that's not uncommon for these ATMs. So, however you you can get more here. So we're not sure if it's 6,000 or 7,000, and obviously that depends on the bank's, your bank's limits on your card. But I think this ATM lets you take out a lot more. The actual ATM lets you take out more, so we're gonna wait now.
We did have some issues with going to the ATM. We've talked to Wells Fargo lately more than we would like. They keep declining our cards even though we set up a travel plan, which brings us, we got 2 points here. We're at CI Banco right off Los Altos, great spot. The rate is $16.50. The amount that you can get out, the ATM is higher than Intercam, and nice air conditioned room. And the second thing is we have switched over most of our finances over to Charles Schwab. The only problem is it takes 4 business days, and we didn't switch over enough. So now we're going to start doing direct deposit into Charles Schwab, and with the Charles Schwab account there are no international fees, no ATM fees.
And apparently I think it's better for traveling because like there's been no holds in the account. With Wells Fargo, I've tried to set up all sorts of travel plans, and apparently using the same ATM over and over is considered a fraud risk.
Now we're going to go get unfrustrated and eat a bar light. People that are coming on vacation or maybe like a month-long trip here to Puerto Vallarta, what do you suggest is the best way to get cash? Like, should you go to should you get it in the States? Should you?
I guess it depends on how long your stay is, because 3,000 pesos or around $200 may last for a week-long vacation, depending on how much you're going to spend. In which case, I suggest going to Intercam or one of these banks. But Intercam, because it's got the highest rate right now, and there's usually not a wait. If you need more than 3,000 pesos, we always go to the ATM on Banorte on Los Altos because we've always gone there, and that's where we go. You can get more pesos, and there are 3 ATMs there.
It seems like pretty secure. We've never had any problems with our card being compromised there, and there's
what we would not recommend is getting your cash from the cashola or like little one-man ATM stands that aren't attached to a bank. I've read a few horror stories about it not giving you the cash that you had requested, but your card being charged that amount, and then there being a 1-800 number that's been disconnected, no one responds to emails. So we would suggest going to one attached to a bank so that if something does happen, you can walk right inside the bank, talk to someone, or we feel those may be a little more reputable. But we don't know, we've never tried the other ones, but it's a risk we're not willing to take.
I think another option that you could do is go to your local bank wherever you're from. I know we checked at Wells Fargo before we came. We didn't end up doing this, but we could exchange our dollars for pesos there, and they had pretty comparable rates. The only problem is I don't feel comfortable. I don't really like having cash on me, much less like while I'm traveling, and I don't want to lose several $100s when I go through security. Yeah, before I get here. So I'm hesitant to do that, but it's always an option, and you're using a bank that you know and are familiar with, so that's an added bonus. Also, I think if you are here long term, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who lives here or did live here or maybe lives in Mexico, I think it's relatively easy to set up bank accounts. I know the owners of our condo have an account at Intercam, and they told us it was really easy to set one up there. I don't think the account minimums are super high or anything, and that means a lot coming from us. So I think that would probably be the best way. You just put your money in there, and then you can use the ATMs or go into the actual store and get it out like you would at a bank in the States. Alright, we're gonna take a break from talking about banks and money. I'm gonna show you our food, bar light.
Our favorite places to spend ours.
Yeah, I usually get a salad, but this time I got a chicken sandwich with some Louisiana, some type of sauce on there, with a mixed salad. This is 86 pesos. This was 16. We're gonna share this. So it was like 30 pesos, and Hillary got a
tuna bagel
sandwich.
Gracias.
Tuna bagel. How is it? We're leaving bar. It's kind of a small spot. I'm fogging up here. It's kind of a small spot, and they have 2 air conditioner units in there. Both were set at 17, and they had like a awesome fan going. I need to find out where they got that fan. So it was like the coldest place I've been in a long time. So cold that the camera keeps fogging. Now we're gonna run to a little corner store, grab a few things, and then we're heading home. We'll give you some views on the way. long line. And there was one, we tried to go this morning as well, and there was a line. So it's, I think around, it doesn't help if there's only one machine working, but around end of the month, beginning of the month, I think is people get paid, so you have more people. Well, we decided to come sit by the beach, just watch the waves for a few minutes. Some of them are really big. It's hard to get them on camera. I can't really get a good shot of them, but for here they're pretty big. It's not surfing quality or anything. I sure as heck wouldn't boogie board here. If you've seen me try and boogie board at this exact spot is where I cut my arm. Hillary thought I was dead. So we're just gonna sit here for a little bit. We got some Mexican candy we're gonna try. So we're gonna turn this into like a estadounidense tries candy episode. What do we got?
De la Rosa, Tamaño, Gigante.
Can you show a close up? Comment below if you know what this is, if you've ever had it. They told us it was like a peanut candy, and Hillary has a confession, so she had already taken a bite.
Teeth marks.
What's it like?
Oh my gosh. It tastes like, oh my gosh. That's really good.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like sort of like a fudge, or almost like powdered sugar that just melts in your mouth with chopped up peanuts in there.
That sounds delicious.
Like,
I want to
like
try.
Divinity? Well, I don't know. Maybe more like powdered sugar.
Ready?
Yeah.
That is amazing. Yeah, it is very fine.
It melts.
It's like, I don't know how to describe that. Yeah, it does just melt.
Like powdered sugar kind of, right?
It's like, yeah. That was real good. I thought it was gonna be like caramely almost, but we're definitely gonna eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully we answered some of your money questions here. We're just telling you our experience. If you have a different perspective on the money situation here, or something you've done that has been a little bit more secure, more safer, that you've had success with, comment below, let us know, for us and for others. Look, this big wave.
Oh my gosh, that is really big. So the last tip for getting money, and then we'll stop talking about money for the day, is to call your bank in the States. If you plan to use your debit card to either get cash or use your debit card period, make sure you call your bank and set up a travel plan, because there's nothing more frustrating, take it from people who did it 3 times today, than waiting in line at the ATM and your card being declined because of fraud protection. So do yourself a favor, give your bank a call, let them know you're coming to Mexico and you may never leave.
Well, folks, that's all she wrote for today.
Silly cat work in his skin. Oh my gosh, look at that fur.
It's tiny neck. Let us know if there's a question that you have that we didn't answer, and maybe we will definitely answer that in the comments, and or try and shoot an entire video about your question. So be sure to check in tomorrow. My friend Chris is coming. We are sure to have a good time with him. Lots of activities planned. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell so we get notified every time we upload a new video. And we will keep talking to you, because right now there's a guy that tries to sell us stuff every single day. So